How's it going, everyone? Thanks for stopping back in. As you can see here, we have the RX-7 still on the lift from last video where we did the bolt check and also fixed the issue I had with my camber adjustment on my driver's side front wheel. There was another issue I mentioned in that video where the car is lean while driving down the road, and I have a theory of what it is. So now that it's not raining, it's still a little cloudy out today, but being it's not raining like it was when we made the last video, we are going to take the RX-7 off the lift and we're gonna take it for a ride. I'll show you guys exactly what's happening. It's just lean only while at a cruising speed. Everything else is fine. And then we're going to take the PCV valve line off from the carburetor. We'll plug that and then we'll just let the PCV valve vent to atmosphere. I believe that that's gonna solve the solution, or solve the issue, sorry. So basically, let's move that truck out of here, get that out of the way, and then we'll take the RX-7 off the lift, and I guess we'll go take it for a little ride. Now we got it off the lift. I was just looking at something that kind of reminded me. I took the trim, the window trim, off from the car because this window trim was super bad. So I'll show you exactly what it looks like. It's all rusted. Somebody put silicone over it at one point to try and cover it up, and it came through anyways and basically made it worse just because it was trapping it. But the car looks much better for the time being without the trim. It's the same way on both sides. Both trim pieces were completely smoked. So we're gonna run it without that for now, and we're painting the car very soon, so I'd like to actually paint behind that, and I feel like it'll probably make it look more finished versus that crappy trim. But now that we got the RX-7 off the lift, let's fire it up, go take it for a little ride, and we'll see what the air to fuel ratios are. So as you guys could see, ran great, full throttle. Idle's pretty good. This cam likes a lean idle anyways, but yeah, just while cruising, had that issue. So as you can see here, I've got the line on the PCV valve and it swoops around the distributor and goes to the bottom of the carburetor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some more of this line that's that size. I'll put it on the carburetor, put a plug in it, and then I'm gonna just take what I removed off from the carburetor and just let it vent to atmosphere. My theory is that it's pulling the crankcase pressure out of the valve cover like it's intended to do, but it's pulling it and putting it, like way more of it than it should, into the base plate of the carburetor, and it's just, I think it's leaning out the fuel mixture too much. We did at one point have it in one of the intake runners on cylinder 8, and it was leaning cylinder 8 out. So I changed PCV valves and I thought that the issue went away, but apparently not. I think that with engines with low vacuum like this one, that you maybe have to get a specific PCV valve. We'll have to look into that, but for now, I just want to make sure that my theory is right and that it is that PCV valve. If I pull the line off the carburetor, cap the carburetor, and still have that lean issue, then we've got to start looking into something else. I mean, worst case scenario, I can go back to those old jets that I have because it ran fine on those jets, but I just wanted something that was more precise than the drill bit that we ran through them. So I guess let's take that line off, create a cap, and then take it for another ride. All right, so I just whipped up this contraption real quick. Just a bolt stuffed inside of a line. I believe this is the right size for the carburetor. That should be good for a ride. I guess we'll fire it back up and take it out, see how it runs. So clearly we now have an oil leak, which I saw it actively dripping from the oil pan. If it isn't one thing, it's always something else. But yeah, no, putting the plug on the carburetor and then letting the PCV valve vent to atmosphere clearly didn't solve the problem. I was gonna put the camera on the stand and I was going to richen up the fuel mixture for the idle circuit and then raise the idle, because doing whatever I just did by plugging the carburetor base plate brought the engine idle RPM down and kind of messed with things. But yeah, it is what it is. That wasn't the solution. So as I was saying in the car, I think I'm just gonna jump up to whatever jet size I need to for it to run right. The cam in the engine is a lot more beefier now than it ever was, and a 600 for it is probably pretty small. So if we can just open up the fuel limitation, I think that'll solve the problem, being we had drilled out jets in the carburetor before and this issue wasn't here. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. I guess we don't have the solution that I was hoping for. I wanted it to be a successful transformation. Take the car out, drive it, have issues, bring it back, work on it, take it back out, problem solved. But now that we've got this oil leak, the car's gotta go back up on the lift. I've got a bolt check. The oil pan, funny enough, that's just proof of doing bolt checks. When I was doing the bolt check on the car in the last video, I was more worried about suspension, like mounts and driveline stuff. But something that's solid mounted like this, you literally have to check everything. So it is what it is. The oil pan on this is a stamped steel oil pan, and really it just sucks. Same thing with the front cover. It's just bad. I have a buddy with an LS1 that he's going to be giving to me at some point, and as I keep having issues with this engine, it's just pushing me further to the edge of just getting rid of it, because I shouldn't be having overheating issues. I shouldn't be having leaks all over the place. This engine literally has like 300 driving miles on it, probably, if that. And we've got issues with the oil. There's like, I think that we have an issue with some of the bearings, and it's always hot. There's always an issue with something. So I don't know. It may just be that time. But for the meantime, I guess if I can get by, I'll tighten that oil pan up. I guess it is what it is. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and it was cool. We got to actually drive the RX-7 in a video, and you guys kind of got to hear it or whatever, versus on shorts, you guys get to hear this thing all the time, whether it's idling or we're at the track drifting it. Shorts is like pretty cool because you definitely get to see the behind the scenes of whatever's going on that's not in the long form video content. So make sure you check out shorts. We do them every single day, and they're usually out between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. So just keep your eyes peeled for that, or just check back in the morning. The shorts will be there waiting for you. But that's gonna do it for this video. Sorry it wasn't the outcome that we were hoping for, but it is what it is. We'll see you guys in 3 days.